Far From Home fails MCU Spider-Man as a character.
What the?
Complain about dumb stuff like Iron Boy Jr., the costume, the gadgets. None of that stuff matters to me, and I could defend those all day. Today, however, I am not here to defend, but here to explain. Far From Home destroys MCU Peter as a character. Let's do a quick recap. Spider-Man was recruited by Iron Man, aka the man who saved his life back in Iron Man 2.
Nice work, kid.
And now he meets him in the present day and offers him a new suit and gadgets as long as he helps him take down Cap.
What?
Now he has a taste of big superhero stuff, wanting to go for more and yearn for bigger things. He wants to live up to the man who saved his life and wants to prove he is worthy of being an Avenger.
I just wanted to be like you.
And I wanted you to be better.
He proves he's an active hero in his community, both before the bank fight and in the footage shown by Tony to him in Civil War.
Oh. Wow, nice catch. 3,000 pounds, 40 miles an hour. It's not easy.
Heck, you can even count the Prelude comics. Whether you consider his active character moments to be guided by trying to be Iron Boy Jr., as one would insultingly call it, or just being a hero, Peter is shown to be one who puts his personal life after saving the world.
You don't deserve this.
Yes, I said after saving the world. He finally has his chance to kiss Liz Toombs, even after being threatened by Vulture. He chooses to do the right thing over that, whether his loved ones were threatened or not.
You walk through those doors, you forget any of this happened. And don't you ever, ever interfere with my business again. Because if you do, I'll kill you and everybody you love. I'll kill you dead. That's what I'll do to protect my family, Pete. You understand?
Peter knows his responsibilities. He knows he is a hero. Cut to Infinity War. Despite choosing to stay close to the ground and protect his friendly neighborhood, you'd think he would choose to stay behind and not get involved with the Thanos stuff. But no, you're wrong. Insanely wrong. This is honestly a very comic accurate Spider-Man moment in relation to how Spider-Man in the comics gets involved in most events. Plain and simple, Spider-Man's a hero. You don't need a great power and great responsibility speech to do something like this, to know what must be done. As Peter puts it,
Don't pretend you thought this
No,
through. I know you didn't.
I
You
did
could
think this
not
through.
have possibly thought
You
this
can't
through.
be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood. Okay, that didn't really make sense, but you know what I'm trying to say.
obviously at first his efforts are in vain, but our remaining heroes resurrect those who vanished, and they take out Thanos at the cost of Tony's life, much to Peter's dismay. Understandably, he is shaken, he is harmed emotionally by such a tragic end to someone he looks up to for all the right reasons, and another figure like Uncle Ben has now left his life. He has one thing to look forward to that may or may not bring him happiness: a school field trip. Now we are far from home, and suddenly he has a crush on MJ? Wait, MJ? Why MJ? Going back on Homecoming, he has zero reason nor interest shown towards this single girl. A she to him, unless you call awkwardly looking at him as he runs away to meet Happy as interest. Does that really look like interest? It just looks like she's like, oh, I guess there he goes.
You quit marching band robotics. Am I?
In comparison to Homecoming, it's acceptable for him to be crushing on Liz from an audience perspective. It's his first solo movie. We are entering the life of Peter Parker midway with no origin story or prior establishments other than the fact that he is Spider-Man. The movie's narrative doesn't require a detailed explanation for why he likes Liz. It's a high school lovey-dovey crush that needs no explanation. He's the girl of his dreams that a hero wants to gain the love of.
That'd be great.
And MJ? Well, she barely had much presence in Homecoming other than saying woke stuff and, well, she said, okay, well, that was it. There was little that she had other than the glares she gave to Peter. Peter himself only ever reacted to her twice in the movie. Once at Liz's party, where she acts all quirky, and the second time at the Washington Monument when she says that her friends are up there. If you are to call MJ's interactions towards Peter herself to be a crush, then you guys have a weird idea of crushing on someone, because she is downright disturbing. It sort of reminds me of someone. So we have established Peter has no reason to crush on MJ. What else is destroyed about him?
I just want to go on my trip with my friends. Europe doesn't really need a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
His willingness to be not Spider-Man, but a hero. Hydra Man attacks Venice, and what does Peter do? He springs right into action. Despite Aunt May being a sneaky little aunt and putting his gear inside the suitcase, which by the way she was really idiotic about because she chose not to hide it and put it in plain sight, not knowing if someone would check it or not at airports or whatever, Peter still puts on his game face and does what a hero like him can do best in this situation. He protects civilians, reduces damage, keeps all danger to a minimum, while the more capable Mysterio, as far as he and the audience knows, takes down Hydra Man in a quicker fashion. In this scene, despite Peter wanting to be on vacation, as he says to Ned when the situation starts, he knows what must be done and does his heroics. Inspiring. So now the situation is resolved from his point of view. He has nothing else to worry about. To him, it was just some random occurrence until Nick Fury, aka Talos, aka the dumbest person in the MCU, finds him and shoots Ned in the neck. Nick Fury introduces him to his crew, while Peter, in a dumb move, takes off his mask for no reason at all, just because Nick Fury said he didn't need it on. Starting to notice a pattern here with how they're treating Peter and his intelligence. Moving past that, he meets Mysterio and is told about the elementals and the threat they pose to the world. Mysterio says he's fought every single one, but they kept getting stronger.
We mobilized and fought them, but with each battle they grew, got stronger.
As well as the fire elemental destroying his last battalion and his entire planet, along with his family.
It's the one that took my family.
Made up story or not, from Peter and everyone else's perspective, this is real. The fire elemental is the last one that needs to be destroyed, and specifically the one who has the power to destroy the entire planet. And after all this is relayed, what is Peter's reaction? He chooses to make up excuses.
But I'm just a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
Possibly thought
You
this
can't
through.
be a friendly neighborhood Spider-Man if there's no neighborhood.
Peter calls his actions that brought him into Infinity War an accident. It wasn't. He chooses to get involved with Ebony Maw's capture attempts, and even he himself says to Tony that he needs to save the wizard.
You said save the wizard!
Peter in this moment is a hero. He presses on despite Tony's warnings. But sure, Peter, let's call it an accident. He then tries to suggest other heroes,
Come on, there's gotta be someone else you can use.
ignoring the terrible world building this little excerpt brings, due to not only its assumption that other heroes are busy for no reason, but it's also ruined by the 2 Disney Plus shows. It is irresponsible. Peter himself in Homecoming suggests one time as a reply to Iron Man that the Avengers are who would be called to handle the Vulture.
The Avengers?
No. Just a little below their pay grade.
And that's it. Peter chooses to handle the situation himself after this. And yet here, he tries to piggyback off of it as an excuse that unluckily for him and the MCU's world building fails because of everyone being busy. He goes on to say that Aunt May would kill him if he left a trip,
But if my aunt finds out I left my class trip, she's gonna kill me.
which is ruined by a pre-established scene where Aunt May suggests he brings his suit and also commends him and brings up her suggestion to bring said suit with him as a positive statement and a good idea.
It's a good thing that I packed your suit, huh? I can't believe you forgot it.
Yeah.
So that's just another lie to try to not deal with the fire elemental. Peter is no longer an active character, but a passive one that just lets the plot push him along without any of his say. Say he's just trying to cope with Tony's death, or whatever you want to, but even in the comics, Peter, after tragic events, even as notable as the death of Gwen Stacy, he was proactive. He charged headfirst into the battle against evil, whether it was guided by the vengeance against the Goblin or not. Loss never changed him. Peter Parker is a physical representation of human perseverance through even the hardest of times.
This
not
is
you.
human
Not
resilience.
You. No, not you. MCU Spidey reflects this within Homecoming to a T. Spidey doesn't seem to realize that if the world dies, what vacation or coping is he gonna have to do? How do you throw a chance at kissing a girl and finally having a nice social life away to stop the Vulture, but put your personal life before trying to handle a threat that is going to destroy the planet? There is clearly no one able to help, no matter how dumb that is. And clearly Mysterio, whether his story was fake or not, couldn't handle him, and he even struggled against the Hydro Man. So how is any of this acceptable? How is it okay? And this is only talking about the problems towards Peter himself, and not even beginning to mention the problems with Edith and other parts of the plot. Peter is bastardized in this film. Maybe No Way Home will do better, Maybe it will. But hey, that's just my short little opinion, and this was just derp. Oh, and by the way, Falcon is a terrible Captain America, and people need to stop standing for WandaVision before I shove my boot up there. Hi there, thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you like this video, please check out my other ones, including my nice little amateur video edits and my recent Wonder Woman video. I also made a cut of Justice League 2017 and Zack Snyder's Justice League, which will be linked in the description and was inspired by Mahler's video on the Snyder Cut, which you should also check out.